Grizzlies win big over the Detroit Pistons 131-111 in the Grindhouse to take us into the Thanksgiving season fat and happy. I'm Uncle Buck of the Two Buck Sports Show, and this is the post-game bounce recapping the Grizzlies win over the Detroit Pistons 131-111. And this is just a prototypical Grizzlies win, it seems like. It seems like everybody got involved. Superstars don't matter. But you get it done. I don't know if it's the communist offense that we run where everybody gets a shot, everybody gets a chance to show their worth and to pull their weight. But the Grizzlies, with their big three of Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane combining for 14 points, and Ja Morant didn't even play. They win by 20 and led by as much as 30 in this game against a scrappy Detroit Pistons team, a team that seems to have heartbreakers every single night, always playing teams close, no matter what the team is. The Grizzlies just put them away. Maybe Detroit just was ready to take a day off. They were dreaming about that turkey like we have all been. I mean, there's nothing more relatable than that. But the story of the game is Marcus Smart. It didn't seem like it's been that long ago since everybody was putting Marcus Smart in these trade scenarios. And I felt like I held strong. You know, Marcus Smart, yes, he's a tradable asset. Yes, he is somebody that you could really see like needed to be involved in a trade if the Grizzlies were going to make a swing for a fourth superstar or a big, make it a big four, a win now type move would seem to have to involve Marcus Smart because he's got the name cachet. He's got a contract that can be added in a trade very easily. And he just wasn't playing, last year he was hurt pretty much the whole year. This year he's dealt with injuries and it just seemed like you couldn't get that ball rolling downhill. But let me tell you what, Marcus Smart was absolutely incredible tonight. In 20 minutes, he had 25 points. He was a plus 25 overall, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 67% from the field, and 7 of 11 from three. Just had his fireball working. It's easy to look at that 7-11 from three and be like, okay, he shot the ball well. If you know Marcus Smart and you watch his game, it was anything but only threes. The dude hustled. He turned the game by himself after a first quarter in which the Grizzlies were outscored by one, including an 11-point lead for a brief moment in the first quarter. That Marcus Smart coming off the bench had a huge steal and really flipped the game. Really showed the players like it was time to scrap. This is not a a Thanksgiving Eve game that we're going to take lightly. This is going to be a game that we're going to fight for. And if Marcus Smart does anything, he brings championship mentality to your team every single game that he plays. It cannot be understated, and it was painted a full picture tonight of what Marcus Smart's importance is to a team. It's so much more than points, but tonight it was also points. Just absolutely incredible. Like I said, Jaren went for 12 tonight. He was very poor shooting from three. Jaren finished the game 0 of 7 from three, 5 of 16 from the field for 12 points. He had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He was a plus 10, but the shot just wasn't falling. Listen, we talk about it on the Two Buck Sports Show that comes out today when you're listening to this, 3 o'clock on Bluff City Media YouTube. Me and Buckets talk about Jaren Jackson Jr., and we really sing his praises, including Rusty, who thinks he's more important to this team than Ja Morant. Spoiler alert, you're going to have to hear the rest of his reasoning why on the Two Buck Sports Show. Jaren Jackson Jr. is absolutely amazing. He's had an amazing season. He had an amazing year last year. He's the only person that stayed healthy throughout the majority of the season. And his offensive game has expounded leaps and bounds just through the roof. He is such a guy that can get to his shot now, but tonight it just wasn't falling. You're allowed those games in an 82 game season, and his shot just wasn't falling. But Marcus Smart was there to pick him up. Scottie Pippen Jr. was there to pick him up. Scottie Pippen Jr. played 31 minutes, had 19.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. He only had 2 turnovers. He shot 1 of 2 from 3, 9 of 12 from the field with a 75% field goal percentage. Just outstanding. Listen, it can't be overstated what Scottie Pippen Jr. means to this team when John Morant is going to miss games. I mean, coming off of a knee bruise, John Morant was out tonight, and Scottie Pippen Jr., after only having a handful of minutes in Ja's first and only game against Portland on what was that, Monday night? Um, Scottie saw his minutes get reduced drastically with John Morant and Marcus Smart coming back. But John Morant back out tonight, Wednesday night, and Scottie Pippen Jr. got thrust right back into the starting lineup. He played, what did I say? He played 31 minutes, 19 and 7. I mean, cannot overstate what Scottie Pippen Jr. means to this team. Another one. Listen, I've been the Laravia guy. I feel like I've been the Laravia guy for a long time. I really was. I was the only one on Laravia Island last year when he finished the season so strong. Everybody else thought it was a fluke, and I thought he was just a guy that was in the mix at all times. It's so important to just have a guy that does the dirty work. Laravia in 25 minutes tonight, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block. Those rebound numbers are low for Laravia, but he had the shot going tonight. He shot 89% from the field and 75% from 3, 8 of 9 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. Had the shot going tonight. Brandon Clark set a season high of 13 points in 19 minutes. He's really starting to find his groove. Had a slow start to the season. He may never dunk a basketball again. And we may not ever see another John Morant to Brandon Clark alley-oop that we grew to love. But the floater works, man, and he has figured out a way to be effective on this basketball court without a 40-inch vertical. And props to him, because in a league, there's a lot of specialists. You're either the shooter, you're the defender, you are the rim protector. That dude has went from an alley-oop catcher to a floater king, and he's still getting his rebounds. He is invaluable to this team. This team's just stock full of great role players, and I'm curious to see what it looks like playoff time when the rotation shrinks and your superstars have to take over. You've still got those superstars, and so, man, we're riding through the regular season. We're on a 4-game winning streak. We've got New Orleans on Friday. John wants to come back from New Orleans. He seems to own New Orleans. In 2 of the 9 games that he played last season, he hit buzzer beaters against New Orleans. New Orleans does not want to see John Morant, and John Morant loves seeing those New Orleans Pelicans jerseys going against him. So it's great. One thing I'm looking forward to, listen, I crunched some numbers. This Grizzlies team does not play close games. They just don't. So I just looked at point differential. I didn't take into consideration wins or losses for the Grizzlies, but we're 19 games into the season. The average point differential, regardless of win or loss, for the Grizzlies and their opponents this season is 14.6 points. Any given night, the average point differential between the winning team and the losing team is basically 15 points. That means a lot of Yuki Kawamura minutes, and Yuki Kawamura got minutes tonight and got a fadeaway elbow jumper to sink, and the crowd went crazy. If you want to keep fans in seats, guarantee us that we're going to see Yuki Kawamura at the end of games, especially if they're winning. But I do want to see the Grizzlies play some close games. I love wins. I will take blowout wins 100 out of 100 times. I love to see the Grizzlies win more than anything. But I do want to kind of get my angst going. The Grizzlies, going back through their game to start the season, the Memphis Grizzlies won a 2-point game against the Utah Jazz. Since that point, let me pull this up here. The Utah Jazz game. Anyways, since there were 2 5-point games against back-to-back 5-point games against the Lakers and the Warriors, and virtually no close games. I think there was a 2-point loss for us against Brooklyn, but all these games are blowouts. I kind of want to see the juices flowing, but regardless, the Grizzlies win. Thanksgiving is today. I hope everybody has on their stretchy pants, or if you didn't prepare accordingly, feel no shame in doing the unbutton and laying down on the couch and taking you a good nap while you watch the Dallas Cowboys lose. Turn on the Detroit Lions, see them play. You got the nightcap for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, just the best day in a calendar year is Thanksgiving Day, especially when the Grizz win by 20 the night before. So I'm Uncle Buck of the Two Buck Sports Show. Thank you for sticking with me through this. Check out the Two Buck Sports Show at 3 o'clock on Bluff City Media. Check out Anthony Sane at noon on Bluff City Media right here on this YouTube channel. Subscribe, like the page, stay plugged in with us. We're just a quarter of the way through this Memphis Grizzlies season, and we got a lot more to talk about. So appreciate you guys. See you later.